In this video, I'm going to create walls by selecting lines inside Revit using Dynamo and Python code. Basically, I'll be using out-of-box nodes of Dynamo, such as Python scripts and code block. I'm gonna define 4 inputs that are needed for this wall creation method. We are going to take a look at the Revit API doc website where we can find all the methods that we need for this Python script. And then I try to describe each code lines as much as my knowledge allows me to do so. It's a pretty fair and simple Python code that myself started learning Python with it. I'm using Revit 2024 and Python 2.18. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, let's start with Dynamo. Let's bring out Python script. And for the purpose of this tutorial, we need to add some inputs, which is 4 for this script. For the first input, we need to have our line selected. So I'm gonna use select model elements, through which we can actually select our lines inside Revit. And then we need to specify our level, and then at the third input we need to specify our wall types, and then for the height of walls I'm gonna use code block, and for now I'm gonna set it to 4 meters. Later on, we need to convert this one because in the Dynamo we are using meters, and inside the Revit we are using millimeters units. So inside the Python script we need to convert that. So let's wire this to the inputs. And now actually we can start coding inside the Python script node. I'm gonna clear this up all the way up to the first line, and we need to import some libraries. First of all, we need to import system, and the second one CLR, which stands for Common Language Runtime. This module is needed to interact with libraries that are written in .NET language. And from the CLR we can add now some references, and it's assemblies like protogeometry, Revit nodes, Revit APIs, etc. So now I'm gonna what's going on? Sorry guys, let me. Alright, protogeometry, the first assembly, and from this we can actually import our namespaces. I'm gonna say from Autodesk, actually it should be just like here, dot design script dot geometry. You can specify what elements you can import, but I'm gonna import all. And let's add another reference and assembly, which is Revit nodes, and from here I'm gonna say import Revit. So the other reference, no, Let me see actually if we can select add references. Okay, now I'm gonna add Revit API, and I'm gonna say from Autodesk dot Revit dot database import all. And the other one, which is really important, is Revit Revit services. It's caps lock actually. Revit services, and we need to import two important document managers and transaction managers. So I'm gonna say from Revit services dot persistence import document manager, and the other one from Revit services dot transactions import transaction manager. Okay, now we are gonna tell to Dynamo that we are using in this current session of Revit from all the available instances. For that reason, I'm gonna say doc equals document manager dot instance dot current database document. All right, now from this point on we can actually define our four inputs, which is our lines, selected lines, our level, wall type, and the height. Now I'm gonna say lines equal unwrap element as our first input. However, we need to unwrap our elements because the geometry inside Revit is different from the one inside the Dynamo that we are calling in. So we need to unwrap the geometry which is coming from the Revit to be able to work with it inside the Dynamo. That's because we are using unwrapped elements. And the second one is level, and let me copy this one here, and the other one is our wall type. I'm gonna name it wall type, and it is the same code line with the index 2 as a third input. And then we need our height. As I said, we have our height in meter inside Dynamo. So I'm gonna call it for now height in meters. And since it is the kind of unit, we don't need to unwrap it. So directly it is our last input with the index 3. Okay, now let's convert our units from meters to millimeters. So for that reason, I'm gonna say height underscore in millimeters. But how we can do it? Let's go to the Revit API docs site and use your Revit version, which is 2024 in my case, and I'm gonna say unit utils class, and let's select methods. And the one that I'm looking for is this one, convert to internal unit method, which needs 2 arguments. All right. And so I'm gonna say unit utils dot convert to internal unit. And as we saw, we need 2 arguments. The first one was our height in meters. Let me copy this one. And the second argument was unit type ID, which in my case is meters. With this code line, we can actually convert from meters to millimeters. So let me have some spaces here. All right, and from here now we can start coding. Actually, since we are dealing with more than one wall, so we need a kind of a list of walls. So for that reason, I'm gonna name my list as walls and make an empty a list. And now we have to say to Dynamo to start transaction. So I'm gonna say transaction, sorry, manager, transaction manager. That's I think I misspelled here. Let me rewrite it. Transaction manager dot instance dot ensure in transaction, and as an argument we say this document. And now we have our list of walls, empty list of walls. Since we are dealing with more than one walls, as I said before, we need to use a loop function. So I'm gonna say for line in lines, first of all, we need to convert the line from the Revit to the Dynamo space. So for that reason, I'm going to say Revit. I'm going to name it Revit line equals to line dot geometry curves with the caps lock one. Geometry curve. So we need this indentation here. Okay. So to create our walls, I'm gonna name the function new wall, and let's take a look at the this one here and look for wall class. And methods here, create methods. As you can see, there are 5 type of methods that you can use to create your walls. For my case, I'm going to use this one here, which as an argument needs a document our curves, wall types, levels, and the height of our walls, the offset from the line, and two boolean. We are gonna set these booleans to false. We don't need them for now. So I'm gonna write wall dot create, and as we said, we need our dark, we need our basically Revit line here, which is our selected curve, and then we need our wall type, the ID of wall type. We need our level ID as well, and then we need our height, which is the in millimeter unit. Okay, and then I'm gonna set the offset as 0 value and the booleans in false. So we need to add this created wall into our list. So I'm gonna say walls dot append this one new wall dot 2ds type, which is true as an argument. I hope I don't misspell it. Yes, this one here should be caps lock. Okay. So since here we have to close up our transaction, so we don't need indentation here, and I'm gonna say transaction manager dot instance dot transaction task done, obviously with the caps lock and our empty list, and then here we need to set the output. So I'm gonna say the output is our walls. All right, we are pretty much there. I think with the Python code, I'm done here. Let me save this one, close it, and we need to select our model elements. Let's imagine that I'm gonna have two different types for this model. So I'm gonna hide this one temporarily and select my walls here. All right. And the level, let's set it to level 0, and for the wall types, let me choose one of this one here, like it doesn't matter. All right, and we have our height set to 4 meters, and as you can see here, if I go in one elevations, we are in millimeters. So let's hit the run and see if we get all these walls created. Okay, there's an error in line 15. Let me see. from, yes, I misspelled here, transaction and transaction manager. All right, let's write again. Line 17. Document manager, that instance. Yes, this should be caps lock as well. Core database documents. All right. Okay. As you can see, we have created our walls based on the lines, selected lines. So if I go and select the internal walls to have it like another type, I'm gonna select them and set the type to, like, I don't know, it's a partition, like, yeah. Okay, and hit the run again. Actually, we have our walls created perfectly inside the level.